What's going on? I am not in my usual habitat. I'm actually at a pet sitting visit, which is why I'm recording this on my phone, which is why quality is probably going to be pretty shoddy. But, oh, sorry, Marv. I wanted to kind of answer a question from one of the comments. I can vlog it. Thank you for watching my videos and taking the time to comment and all that great stuff. I really appreciate it. For your Maltese, every dog needs to be walked. Unless your vet tells you there's a specific problem. A lot of vets or professionals or people that think they're professionals will tell you, oh, dog doesn't need to be walked. What are you talking about? It's a little dog. Just put it in a purse. Just carry it around. It's fine. It doesn't need to exercise. That's why we get little aggressive dogs. I'm not trying to sound like a smartass. I'm actually kind of trying to make light out of what is actually a really pretty big issue. Most of the reason that people say that those little breeds don't need to be walked is because there's a concern with hip dysplasia. There's a concern with different ailments coming from high impact. Really jumping on and off big beds, jumping on and off high couches, running up and down stairs. Those things, not the best for smaller breeds. What? Every vlog can't be you and your handsome self trying to talk. Alright? Are you good? Okay. Yeah, I get to bring my dog to work. How awesome is that? No, you've had enough on screen time. I know you look handsome. You're the fuckle. Okay, so, why does your dog need to be walked? Number one, the aggression. Be careful calling it aggression because most people call something aggressive or aggression or an act of aggression and it's not really. So be careful labeling that because it's got a really bad stigma and most people overuse that word, in my opinion. And these are all my opinions. If you leave me a nasty comment and try and debate me on something, I'm just gonna remove it and block you. If you leave me a comment saying you disagree with something, that's cool. Your opinions are your own. I really don't have a problem with other people having other opinions, obviously. Just be respectful, because I'm not here to debate. Somebody asked me a question, I'm just answering it to the best of my ability. I have just a little under a decade of experience under my belt. I do consider myself to be very much a professional and very much an expert at behavior counseling and pet sitting. I mean, I'm pretty much the shit, but whatever. I'm being a little funny, but your dog needs to be walked because even with a small breed, it's still a dog first, and then the breed, and then its name. But every dog needs at least 30 minutes of exercise a day, outside, in the elements, experiencing the world, because that's where their ancestors came from. And no matter who you argue with, or no matter what your argument is to the contrary, unless your dog has a medical reason, it should be getting a walk, and not just in the backyard. I urge you to take your dog on a walk away from your house for 30 minutes. Because the backyard it's familiar with, and that can even be considered its territory. So he really needs to experience the outside world where you're in control. You're in the lead. He walks by your hip, loose lead, following you. Not out front, not sniff time the whole walk. In a 30-minute walk, a dog should really only have about 10 minutes of sniff time at the most. If you're walking them for an hour, then I would say like 15 minutes. It's not all like sniffy, whatever. Because as the dog's working, they're draining their energy. And that's really what they need to do. That's really what leads a dog to be happier, is when they drain their psychological and their physical energy. And in a different video, I'll probably talk a little bit more about psychological versus physical. But you can pretty much imagine, I mean, it's self-explanatory, but there's a reason that sometimes when you take your dog to the dog park, they come home and they're still hype. There's a reason you take your dog to a daycare and it's romper room all day and they come home and they're still hype. There's a reason when you take your dog for a walk and you give them 100% sniff time that you get home and they're not done. They're not draining their energy. They're just rejuvenating themselves, to be honest. Which is fine for part of the walk. They should have a chance to check their P-mail and sniff around. I'm not saying it has to be all fire and brimstone. I'm not trying to be the bad guy here, but they need to drain their energy by following you and working for you. Marvin, come. There's something in this house that's bugging Marvy. Marv, come. Marvy, I got it. I think he's freaked out by, there's some pots up on the, not pots, vases or something up on, I think he's just trying to figure out what they are. He's a very visual dog. So that's the long and short of it. Unless he's got like a bum leg or something, he should be walking. And about the aggressiveness, I'd like to hear more about it. I'd like to, maybe even kind of try and help you a little if you'll allow me. If you don't want to, of course, I completely understand. I'm not trying to like push it on you, but I'm kind of inclined to think that it's probably not aggressiveness. It's probably like misunderstanding a little bit of either greeting or something like that. I'm not trying to minimize your situation. I'm trying to, a lot of people say, oh, he's aggressive and that's like the end of the line. There's no, oh, let's work on it. Let's see why he's triggered by this. Let's make it better. Especially in a 4-year-old, he's got a lot of life left. And that brings me to, I wanted to check my time. The last point I want to make in this video is, Marvin, come! Get in here. Stop growling. I would rather have 10 good years with Marvin where he gets a walk and he gets drained and he's on chondroitin and glucosamine for his joints, which he is now, even though he's technically still a pup, rather than 20 years where I don't walk him and I don't drain his energy because I'm afraid to be rough on his joints or I don't feel he needs that much exercise. You're going to have a happier dog if you give him what he needs. And it's every day. You can also treadmill him. A lot of people find that completely enjoyable and fun and useful to supplement days when they can't or days when there's inclement weather or even as it goes in my case, sometimes it's laziness. Sometimes I just need a day off and they have to get treadmilled. So it happens. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but either way, he needs that exercise. He needs to be drained just like a kid needs recess. And I hope that I explained it without sounding like a complete asshat. I'm not judging. I'm not perfect, but I do know what dogs need, and it doesn't matter what his breed. He needs that walk. So I'm probably going to record another little goofy video after this just to kind of talk about something that's not like preachy, because I know this kind of was. But thanks for your question. I appreciate that. And if there's anything I can do, any other questions you guys have about dogs, please don't hesitate to ask, because I'm here. I'm just not always home to record a vlog, but I've figured out how to do it on my phone, and so now you might see some more phone vlogs from me. So I hope that you guys are well. Thank you for watching this, and much love. Peep out.